Hello and welcome to another episode of Crash Cinema. This is your host McKenna. So today it's a very tricky one. Stay with me and see how it goes. So I was basically, I love elephants. I love everything about them, and at the same time I'm scared very much of them. And I'm grateful for that. In my childhood, I've had close interactions with elephants, not just at the zoo, but where my grandmother lives, there's a ancient crossing path, just not too far from where she lives. And also we have a national reserve next to where my grandmother used to live. Literally, it's a 2-minute walk. So yeah, we've been up and close with them. And like they say, they're very intelligent. They never forget. They're quite easy to live with. Honestly, they are. And it's very interesting. So I was having a very difficult mom day after giving birth. I think it is the 3rd week, and I was just thinking, how can I possibly be pregnant for 9 months, then give birth, and still for it to be difficult? And I was thinking, do other mammals go through all this, or is just us human beings, And I was thinking about the elephant. Actually, it takes more than 2 years for them to be pregnant, for them to give birth, and it's just because of the sheer size of their calf, that baby. And literally, once their baby is born, you're going to notice, because they are big, they occupy space, they are unapologetic. And I've actually always thought maybe elephants are the king of the jungles, because also lions fear them, buffaloes fear them. They're just massive. And once I was reading up on elephants, I came across some very interesting information. Apparently, some other mammals have the ability to stop pregnancy, and that is just, it blew my mind. So, for example, it's one of the species of the wallaby in Australia. I can't remember what it's called, and they do this for 2 reasons. Basically, so that their young one is born in a more favorable time. So if instead of it being born in the very hot summer, the young one can be born in springtime. And I just thought, this is phenomenal. How they do this is just, they freeze time, literally, and they're already pregnant. And there's some mammals who can be pregnant and be pregnant at the same time, like twice, so that in case they lose the pregnancy of one young one, I should stop saying child, it's not a child, they have a backup plan. And I thought, how cool is that? I just, I'm still getting my head wrapped around that. And I was thinking, how amazing is the creator that all this, it's possible. I can't fathom it. I am trying to understand how even I could stop my pregnancy and say, okay, probably I wanted to give birth at a more favorable time. And it's crazy when you think about it. And the whole concept of waiting and a long time to see the fruits of what you've labored for, sometimes it's not the easiest. I don't know how you feel as a person where probably you've been working on something for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and it's finally launch day, or it's finally here, and there's a excitement, but also underwhelming. I don't know how I can put it. Underwhelming emotion there where you're just feeling, oh, so what this is all it was all about. Especially if you have had a baby and they're crying, they're not settling, they're feeding all the time, and you're waiting to feel that excitement of being a parent. What everybody is saying, you love it, you'll enjoy, and you're like, where is the bliss? Where is this enjoyment? Where is this? And it's in weird times that you catch a glimpse of why you had to go through all these processes. And I recently completed a mentoring scheme participation. So I was a mentor to one of the ladies in my university where I did my master's, and she undertook the same master's course I did public international law, and she did the same. But as we were discussing, I found that they changed the structure of the modules, made it more public international law related in some things, which was really good, which is what I'd always wanted. But saying that, I actually had to remind her, as one of the first people who actually, we were the first lot that did that course, and we were only two in her year. But what they did, they made the master's program for the LLM, all the different ones, into be like a one, and then there's branches so that the cohort is met, which is another story altogether. And it's been interesting to having mentorship sessions with this lady and learning so much about what she fears, what she hopes for, where she wants to go to, and actually it reignited the fire and the excitement of why I went back to uni and why I went and got my master's. And it's been an interesting retrospective time for myself, and thinking, oh, actually there's a box where I packed all my dreams once I became married and had my first child. I just felt, well, let me focus on family life and all these things, and you kind of lose yourself in all this, and you're thinking, did I study for all this so that it can all die? Did I wait from, especially we're excited to get married, those who are for it and stuff, and then you feel, is this all it is? It's actually, marriage is about the mundane things, like who's gonna cook, who's gonna wash clothes, where are we going to take the kids for fun, what's this and all that, and there's the big life choices, and sharing difficult times and things like that. That's companionship is not all rosy. It has very repetitive tasks, and there's some also very exciting moments in it. And there's sometimes I felt so this underwhelming thing, like, is this all it's all about? Especially because there were things I was looking forward to, and it hasn't materialized. But it's not, it's not the end of the world. But there are some things, you make up in your head, or you think, because this person, on the way they carry themselves, it will be like that, like adventure or fun times or whatever. Then you actually see the most fun thing you do is watch Netflix kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting anyway. So I just wanted to bring it down a notch, or rather narrate it down to this. Sometimes what we've been waiting for, what we've been working hard for, might look, like, what is this? What I was waiting for, it's taken me this long. Excuse me. It's taken me this long to sort out this amount of money, this amount of research and all this thing. And there are days you feel there's nothing special, but wait, you see that baby grow. I bet when the elephant is watching the calf do it, think that like, yeah, it was worth it to be pregnant for 2 years. When this wallaby, the baby finally is born and is thriving in this season that they wanted, they're like, yeah, it was worth to freeze the moment. And sometimes, we don't have the pleasure of freezing the moments. We don't have the pleasure of stopping things. Some of us are privileged, probably because come from wealthy families, so you don't have to maybe work, you can take a break, you can travel. There's ways we freeze time before we do the more adulting things. And if you're in that place, more power to you. There's nothing to be guilty about. I think sometimes our society makes people who have privilege to feel guilty. And I mean the kind of privilege where there's money for you not to stress about bills and all this. So if you want to have experiences, if you want to explore the world, you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes society can be harsh on people like that. So if you have those opportunities, please take them. Please enjoy the season you're in. And yeah, it might feel, is this all it is? But watch out for those sunset moments, let me call them that, whereby you're like, I don't know, how many sunsets have you watched? Many, but they still take your breath away. They still, wow you. There's no sunset you'll be like, oh, that was boring. That was, it's the hues, it's the landscape, it's how the sun just is majestic in the sky, and it gives us just a palette of, and it's just amazing out there, and it's worth it. Those who chase sunsets, have to wake up really early, go to the highest place where they can watch this, have this kind of camera. It's worth it. It's worth it. For the postcards that they will create later, and calendars and backdrops and all kinds of things that we'll get to enjoy later. So hang in there. That's my message today, and yeah, enjoy the process. Enjoy where you can and what you can. All right. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Crash Cinnamon. See you on the next one.